welcome back to my channel and welcome to another Sims 4 speed build. So I am continuing my Fill the World project where I am building houses on all of the empty lots in each of the worlds. So this time I am in Brindleton Bay again, and this is for the lot called Tail's End. It's a 40 by 30 lot, and the house that I've decided to build here I've called Sprawling Family Home. So I wanted to do a one-story house because I don't actually know that I've done a one-story house before in this series, or if I have, it's only been like one house. And generally, my one-story houses are pretty small, but I wanted to do, since this was a bigger lot, I wanted to do a bigger house that was still just on one story and could be used as more of like a family home with like lots of different bedrooms, and so that's what I decided to build. So yeah, I really like Brindleton Bay. I like the architecture style there a lot. It's a little tricky for me to do, personally, but it's a fun challenge, I think, and it's a little bit more closely in line with the styles of architecture that I tend to prefer in my own like personal gameplay, so it works out well. So yeah, this is a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroom family home. I have it set up so there's like a very large open living room area when you first come in, and then there's a very large kitchen kind of off of the back of the house that has like the dining room area all attached into like one big room basically. And then in the one half of the house, kind of coming off to the left hand side, is a very large master suite. So there's a very large bedroom there. Pretty much all of the rooms in this house are kind of on the large side, which I did intentionally. And then there's attached bathroom as well over there. And then on the other side, there are 3 other bedrooms and 2 more bathrooms. So one of the bathrooms, they're all full bathrooms, but one of them has the doorway attached to the hallway, so it can be used by guests if they come over. And then the 3rd bedroom is actually kind of like either a teen's bedroom or maybe a bedroom for like a grandparent or something, or a guest room. I did it kind of in a generic style, so you could use it for whatever your particular needs are, but that bedroom gets its own private bath. So pretty nice, pretty nice. Yeah, so normally I don't tend to do that with my houses where I have like one bedroom that's like kind of plain and not really stylized in any specific way, but I figured since I was doing such a large home and there are 4 bedrooms here that, we could branch out a little bit and do something a little bit different. Because normally when I'm doing bedrooms on family homes, I tend to make them be either very specifically for like kids or toddlers or teenagers. And this one bedroom in this house, which we'll see in a little bit, is not so much one or the other. It could be used either way. So as you can see, I took a very long time here trying to figure out how I wanted to roof this house. It's not that complicated of a house to do, but somehow I wasn't getting that front section of the roof to be interesting enough. The house for a long time I thought looked a lot better from the back of the house and not the front of the house, which that's important too, but you have to have some curb appeal or else no one's gonna want to check this house out. So in the end, I'm really happy with how it turned out, but it took me a little while to figure out what I wanted to do, and yeah, so I'm very happy though. I used a lot from the Seasons Seasons expansion pack in this build. Obviously the doors and windows are pretty much all from Seasons, with the exception of the sliding back door that was part of a patch couple months ago, and obviously the wallpaper and the columns on the porch, and yeah, there's quite a bit from Seasons in here. So and actually all of the interior doors except for the open doorways between the living room and the kitchen are all from Seasons. So if you don't have Seasons and you download this house, you're probably going to have a lot of weird default replacement things popping up, and yeah, so I went with a very traditional style on the inside. I kind of intentionally left, especially this living room area, I left it a little bit, not not plain, but decorated in like a very generic kind of way. So like if you've ever watched like a House Hunters, or if you've ever sold your house, or you know, whatever, a lot of times you kind of have to appeal to the greatest common denominator when it comes to like how your house is decorated. So like you might personally really love purple striped wallpaper, but most people who come through the house probably don't. And more often than not, your realtor might suggest that you consider replacing that purple striped wallpaper with something that would appeal towards more people. So that's kind of how I did at least the main living and kitchen areas of this house. So, you know, again, I think it would probably appeal to almost anyone who wants to use this house for their Sims. Because it's plain, but it's also like on trend, you know. It's not necessarily going to be something that's, you know, super trendy, but it's going to work, I think, well for a lot of people. And I almost never get to use those giant square coffee tables. I don't know, my living rooms tend to be on the small side in The Sims. So those big coffee tables tend to not fit very well. So I was pretty pleased that I made a large enough living room finally to have that big square coffee table, because I was so excited when we got them. But I honestly don't get to use them nearly as much as I would have liked. Also, I'm a little sad that I really wish we had an upright piano. Like, the style of this house doesn't really suit a grand piano, but at the same time, like, that keyboard, it's not what I want. I would have really preferred like a standard upright piano instead. Like, I think that would have fit this style a lot better, but you know, what can you do? So I went with the little plug-in keyboard there. I did see from one of the Sims live streams for the new Get Famous expansion pack that's coming out, that in like one of the saloon sets there is a standard upright piano, but it's not playable. it's just decorative. It's just there in the background, and I'm like, oh, they're torturing us. But then again, they're also torturing us with that pack, with how many car things there are. The fact that there's like driveway cutouts in the small neighborhood, like on the lots. We've never had that in The Sims 4, where there's actually like marked driveway cutouts on the property edges and no cars. And there are so many cars like driving around the world and parked on the streets in the world. There's no cars. We're not getting cars anytime soon. So yeah, evidently The Sims just likes to emotionally destroy us, which personally I'm not a huge fan of, but you know, that's their call. That's how they want it to be, so I have to respect that. But yeah, so this is the kitchen. Again, I went with something that's very similar to the living room in that, you know, it's meant to appeal to everyone. You know, white cabinets, white countertops. It is a little strange that the way that the lighting works in The Sims 4, some of the whites look a little bluish and some of them look a little bit more true white. Like, even the counters and the matching upper cabinets don't always match. And I'm not really sure how that works. But that's been kind of an issue from day one with The Sims 4, where the whites don't always match, especially it seems like on base game items. Since then, I think they've changed how they do white on items in the game, and they look a little bit better, but, you know, I'm using base game countertops here, so what can you do? Also, I have never used that dining room table and chairs set from Seasons. I've never used it before. I've never found a reason to use it, but I really like it. It's really, I don't know, it's modern and also traditional all at once, which was kind of the overall vibe that I was going for with this house. So I think it works really well. And it's like one of those big 8-person tables. So, you know, because it's the kitchen, but it's also the dining room. So, you know, I think it would work well for like big family dinners and that sort of thing. And then of course I stuck in a little doggy food bowl by the back door because, I don't know, I just sort of thought, hey, these people could have a dog, why not? And if you don't, it's not that big to, you know, either delete it or just put it in your inventory or whatever. Oh yeah, and I did put dog biscuits on the counter because if you have a dog, you know they like treats, because my dog certainly does, and she has the little rotund belly to prove it. So yeah, big open kitchen, you know, some clutter on the counters and stuff, but nothing too over the top. I wanted to make sure that I left room for your Sims to actually prepare meals, but also made it, you know, look like this is a kitchen that people would actually be using to prepare food. And then I did decide to change the walls behind the kitchen cabinets to be, I think it's a tile from Spa Day, I think is what I went with. You know, just to kind of mix it up a little bit, because in reality, most people have tile backsplashes in their kitchen, so that's kind of the best way that I can come up with to replicate that. So this is now the master bedroom. I really did not know what color scheme I wanted to go with in here. In the end, I kind of settled on like this dark gray with like kind of like a slate blue color scheme, and I'm very pleased with how it turned out. It's like a modern industrial vibe. And again, this is also a really large room. So like, you know, if you're playing in this house, feel free to add in more furniture or change it up to suit your Sim's needs. Like, you know, maybe your Sim is like a crazy exercise person and they need a spot to put their weightlifting equipment. Yeah, there's definitely room for that in this bedroom. So, and of course I put my desk because if you've never seen one of my speed builds before, or if you've never seen one of my houses before, I personally cannot stand it in The Sims 4 when you have Sims come over to your house and all that they want to do is play on your computer. Because let me tell you right now, if that happened in real life, it would not fly with me. They would no longer be my friend. So I always put, or almost always put, a computer in a bedroom or in an office, something behind a door so you can lock the door and prevent your Sims, friends and family members from coming over and getting on the computer autonomously, because for some reason that's all that they want to do. Like they've set the attraction to computers way too high, especially for NPC characters. So this is the best solution that I've come up with. So I always try to put a computer inside the bedroom, and that way then, you know, if you are just as annoyed by this as I am, you can lock the door and they won't come in. Because also, you know, and not always, but I usually try to put it into a master bedroom, because just personally, like, I don't want people walking around in my master bedroom, like, in real life, so why would I want that in The Sims? You know, like, it's just a little strange. But yeah, so I did have a hard time with figuring out how I wanted to do the carpeting in this room. So I ended up kind of making my own carpet, because it was kind of a weird shape to the room. So I used the actual carpet floor tile to make a carpet. So this is the bedroom that I was talking about before. It's either, you know, a grandparent's bedroom, or maybe a teen's bedroom, or a guest bedroom. You know, whatever you need it to be, it can be kind of all of those things. So yeah, but oh yeah, all of a sudden there, on my game, like, just stopped working, and it turned out that apparently there was an iTunes update, and so my whole computer was like, we must show you that there is an iTunes update right now. And I was like, okay, so, but I didn't realize that at first. I was like, ooh, something funny is going on, I better make sure I save. So anyway, so yeah, so this bedroom, it's maybe a little bit more feminine in color, because it's like kind of that like corally pastel pink and tan kind of color scheme going on. But again, you know, typically a guest bedroom is not a room that's going to be really, really personalized to individual tastes. So that's why I was like, well, you know, maybe grandma has to come live with your Sims for a little while, or, you know, whatever. Or if you have a teenage Sim, this could be a good bedroom for them. You know, whatever you want it to be. And yeah, so also I did put in a laundry hamper just because I wanted something else along that wall. It was looking a little empty. But I briefly thought about putting laundry in this house. I don't know. I never put laundry in my houses. And I used the laundry stuff pack a lot, but I never actually put the laundry facilities in. It's just not something I ever really think about. So, you know, it's just, I don't know, probably, my guess is that it's probably got something to do with the fact that we didn't have laundry for a long time, and now I don't think about it. But then at the same time, we also didn't have toddlers for a long time, and I almost always end up putting a toddler bed in my house. So, I don't know, figure that one out. But I play with toddlers way more than I play with laundry. Like, I play with laundry on my Sims where I want them to struggle, or I want it to, like, be more of a challenge, you know? Like, if I sense that they're having a little bit too easy of a time, I'm like, well, this is about to get a lot more difficult for you, and then I put in, like, laundry hampers. I almost never actually use the clothesline and the wash tub to, like, hand wash the clothes. I almost never use that. I did that way back in the day on the beginning part of my Ant Life Let's Play, which, if you haven't watched it, it's completed at the moment, but it's a very good series, so you should go back and check it out. But because the original premise for that series was that the one Sim dies before the beginning of the series, and she dies in a dryer fire. So, as a result of that, her sister, who now has custody of her 2 young children, who are her nieces, thus the name Ant Life, she gets rid of her, like, electronic washer and dryer because, you know, it killed her sister. So, but yeah, eventually even that, I even get rid of the laundry in that series at some point because it's too much of a hassle, and especially with trying to raise, like, little kids, and, you know, things became challenging in that series very quickly. So anyway, so that last room that I just talked all the way through, that was the kids' bedroom, and now this is the younger kids' bedroom. So this is probably my least favorite bedroom in this house. I was trying to do another, like, gender neutral bedroom, because the older kids' bedroom is much more like, it could go either way. It could be a boys' room, it could be a girls' room, it could be a shared bedroom where one kid's a boy, one kid's a girl, whatever. But trying to do something more gender neutral for younger kids was really difficult. And the greens of a lot of the objects didn't match up, and, like, I feel like I say this all the time, but I really miss the color wheel from The Sims 3. Like, I understand the reasoning behind it not existing in The Sims 4 because of the performance issues it caused, but oh my gosh, it makes decorating so much easier. Like, to just, like, you could just drag the color swatch from one item and then just apply it to everything else, and everything would match perfectly, and it was so nice. Especially, like, the green on the sheets of the toddler bed that I end up going with. That green is almost the same green as the green on the hot air balloon and also the end table by the door. But then there's a different green on the tree decal on the wall, and then there's a different green on the bookshelf, and a different green on the toddler potty and the dollhouse. Like, what the heck? How did, why? Like, oh, it's so frustrating. But, you know, in the meantime, we just have to live with it. But, yeah, like, honestly, I'm very excited for a lot of things that are coming to The Sims 4, but if they ever announce that they're bringing back the color wheel and bringing it into The Sims 4, which I seriously doubt that they will, but if they ever announce that, I will probably burst into tears and then have a nervous breakdown, because that is probably the thing that I miss the most from The Sims 3. And I know it's not something that everybody misses, but and then when they had cats and dogs come out and they brought in a color wheel, but just for the cats and the dogs, oh, my blood boiled at that one. I was so upset. But anyways, so we'll see what happens. But anyways, so this is the Sprawling Family Home. You can download it on the Sims 4 gallery right now. Easiest way to find it is to click on the link in the description box below this video, or you can search for it on the gallery using either my username, which is Mrs. Tomato 1018, or through the hashtag Mrs. Tomato 1018. As always, it does not have any custom content in it, and with the exception of the landscaping outside, I actually didn't end up using move objects either, so yay me. So anyways, I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already subscribed to my channel, you can do so down below. I put up a new video 4 times a week. So thank you so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye!